first 45 minutes. And just to remind you as well, that corner that Thailand just had, the only corner of the game so far, they've not even forced a corner out of Timor Leste at half-time. WK Lucknow Wirakoti puts us out of our misery. A worse 45 minutes of football you're unlikely to ever see. Great news for Timor Leste fans, though. They're holding Thailand at half-time by 0-0 in their Group B clash. And there's work to do for Warawut Shanaka in the Thai dressing room at half-time. We'll be back in plenty of time for the second half, live here from the Seliang Stadium for the SEA Games Football 2017. But at the break here, it's Thailand 0, Timor Leste. rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Well, they rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Wilson hitting the side. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Wilson hitting the side. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Coverage. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Coverage. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Coverage. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Coverage. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Coverage. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Timor Leste, their best shot. Coverage. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Substitution, Kevin Durant-Ram. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Substitution, Kevin Durant-Ram. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Substitution, Kevin Durant-Ram. They rejoin us here at the Seliang Stadium with the players about to come back onto the pitch. Still scratching my head as to what we saw in the first 45 minutes. Thailand were dreadful. Substitution, Kevin Durant. Cleared up for you very shortly. In the meantime, back underway. Kevin can afford not to win this game. In the meantime, bearing in mind the competitive nature of Group B, Philippines already with a win to their name. 6 points in 2 games played. The competitive, they're going to go on to 4 points for the Group B. With that Philippines already with a win to their name. 6 points in 2 games played. Thailand down the right. This is already better start to the second half than the beginning of the first. Appetite finally showcased. Substitutes. This is already better start to the second half than the beginning of the first. Appetite finally showcased. Substitutes. This is already better start to the second half than the beginning of the first. Appetite finally showcased. Substitutes. This is already better start to the second half than the beginning of the first. Appetite finally showcased. Substitutes. This is already better start to the second half than the beginning of the first. Appetite finally showcased. Substitutes. This is already better start to the second half than the beginning of the first. Appetite finally showcased. Substitutes. This is already better. Wide crossfield ball. Free kick. Wide crossfield ball. Free kick. Wide crossfield ball. Certainly a push. Didn't look like there was any contact with the head. Which is free kick. The dramatic fall of crossfield ball. Shabas push. Didn't look like there was any contact suggested with the head. Which is free kick. The dramatic fall of crossfield ball. Shabas push. Didn't look like there was any contact suggested with the head. Which is free kick. The dramatic fall of crossfield ball. Shabas push. Didn't look like there was any contact suggested with the head. Which is free kick. The dramatic fall of crossfield ball. Shabas push. Didn't look like there was any contact suggested. Chase that pitcher Ultra did well to win, the kind of chase he wasn't making in the first 45. And already Thailand looking like a different proposition now, going down looking for a cheap penalty. They still can't clear the danger. Timor Leste coming forward is Ratanakorn, still Ratanakorn looking for the cross, shout for handball, falls into the path of Sidachok, who skies over from 8 yards. But finally Thailand look like they got the bit through between their teeth. Finally they look like they're trying to score. Did hit the hand, whether it was ball to hand or hand to ball. Not sure that matters really. It's the age-old debate about penalties when it comes to handballs, but it's my understanding the handball is the only offensive football that doesn't need to be deliberate to be penalised, but referees obviously often use common sense to interpret, and no real complaints from Thailand. But Thailand now really looking like they're coming forward and trying to score a goal. Chance into the box. What a superb tackle that is. Timor-Leste doing brilliantly in defence. It was Nelson Sarmiento with that challenge. Had to be spot on. It would have been a penalty otherwise. Great challenge. So far, Thailand upping the pace. And Timor-Leste answering the challenge thus far. And this is about to be a famous result in Timor-Leste's history. 5 minutes elapsed, 40 more for them to hold out. Still a massive ask. Soraya Singmu knocking it back. Out it goes to the substitute, Chayawat. It'll look for Chayawat here, I'm sure. Chayawat running onto this, but too much pace on the ball once more. Hurried out by Moreira for a goal kick to Timor-Leste. That had to be dealt with by George Sabas, and was. But it's been better from Thailand in the first 7 minutes of the second half. But as I say that, Soraya Singmu, the captain, drops a clanger, but their lacklustre first half performance appears to have given Timor-Leste a bit of confidence. Here's Warachit, still Warachit, driving through the middle of the park. He'll be looking for the return ball as well. Too much on it once more. Pitch seems to be holding out better today than it did against Timor-Leste's game against Vietnam. From our vantage point, doesn't look like there can be too many complaints from the players about the state of the surface. Soraya Singmu now down the left, looking to atone from that misplaced control some moments ago. Shinyapat hasn't had much to do. Helps to build from the back. Now that's an interesting ball down the right-hand side. It's going to win them a corner. Down to the turf goes Nelson Salamento. And a reminder, that was the other astonishing thing about the first half. It was really indicative of Thailand's lack of attacking intent. Just the one corner in that first 45 minutes, and it came right at the end of the first half. And this will be only the second corner of the match so far. Won't be able to be taken until Nelson is dealt with, though. Slightly unorthodox, dragging a player off over the touchline for treatment. So for now, Timor Leste will have to defend with 10. So can Thailand put that to their advantage? It's going to be a corner swung in by Ratanakorn. Just their second corner of the game. Thailand looking to make the breakthrough after a very lacklustre first 45 minutes. 4 players in formation. Trực trying to get on the end of it, as is the substitute. Ball went out and in, though, so that's a waste of a corner. Still being treated is Nelson. Surely Timor-Leste can't risk playing with 10 for much longer. Well, it wasn't great distribution again from Fagio Augusta, but his clearance eventually found its way to starting a Timor-Leste attack, and Non Muangnam in the Thai goal had to be a little bit careful there. He didn't handle outside the box. Shinyapat finds Warachit. Warachit plays it down the right-hand side of Ratanakorn. Inside it comes to Pongkam Nopon. Again, lots of pretty passing in the middle of the pitch from Thailand, but most of it side to side, and answers on a postcard what Soraya was trying to do there. The captain has not had a good night, it's safe to say, so far. Still, Warawut Shimoka remains pretty emotionless. Drawing against Indonesia on match day 1 from a Thai perspective would have been unfortunate. Drawing against Timor-Leste on match day 2 would be classed as outrageous. The perennial gold medal winners struggling against the Timor-Leste team, where even scoring a goal is celebrated like they've won the World Cup. Such is their struggle to compete at this level, but they're doing a fine job so far this evening, restricting Thailand, if that's the way you want to look at it, to minimal opportunities. That was lucky there at Ratanakorn. He lashed out there at Andalino. Here comes Soraya. Chance for a shot from range. Oh, and that was an unfortunate touch by the Timor-Leste player, who's given them the opportunity to score. And we said in the first half, if Thailand were going to score, it would more likely come from a Timor-Leste defensive calamity than it would their own piece of skill, and that has proven to be the case. Timor-Leste failing to clear after Thailand looked again completely ineffective in attack, but they finally make the breakthrough. And credit where it's due, the finish when it came was a decent one. There's Warachit initially starting that move, but there was no need for the recently injured Nelson to touch that, and the ball ends up drifting across to the unmarked Warachit, who does the sensible thing and goes for placement, not power, with the keeper and the defenders moving in the opposite direction. There was nothing Oliveira or Fagio Augusto da Silva could do about that. And Thailand finally have the breakthrough. They lead by a goal to nil at the Seliang Stadium. And maybe that will give them the confidence and belief that they can go and score more goals. Emotionless, this Kim Shin-wan. They've done very well to hold out thus far, but the deadlock being broken in the 58th minute by Warachit, who registers Thailand's second goal of these games, and far more importantly, puts them on course for 3 points they would have taken for granted before the start of today's play. And they're not insignificant travelling support, something to cheer about as well after a very dull and lacklustre first 45. Substitution has been made. Alves, the 16, comes on. We'll check who's gone off, and it was indeed Nelson now. Got to ask if Kim Shin-wan should have taken off Nelson before that, because it was Nelson's defensive lapse that gave them the opportunity for that goal. Also losing Danielson for Gamma. A double change from Kim Shin-wan that may well have come 60 seconds too late from their supporters' perspectives. Now, what can Thailand do? They look like they've got a hunger for this again. Here's Vidichal. Armindo. And again, look at that defence from Timor Leste. Makes Thailand's approach in the first half even more struggling. Timor Leste, bless them, if you at least put them under pressure, they tend to put themselves in danger of conceding a goal as long as you're playing the ball in and around their penalty area. And I wonder, following scoring from a defensive lapse of Timor-Leste, Thailand will now try and employ that and maybe be a bit more direct and go through the middle a little bit more. Here's Soraya. Inside it comes. Soraya gets it back. And again down the left, playing 1-2s with Chayawat. Now Vidichal gets involved. Here is the substitute. Chayawat, cross comes in. It's held up for Warachit. Still Warachit, still Warachit. Finally, he's dispossessed. And again, they just can't get away with it, Timor-Leste. Although Warachit penalised rightly for a handball as we go inside the final half an hour. Of course, Timor-Leste, despite they have the same number of players in their squad, less strength in depth than the Thais. So, in theory, with the second half changes now made and Thailand with still a couple of substitute options to play with, that should help Thailand, but they've got a bit of defending to do here. We've seen some stunning long-range goals in the SEA Games so far. Are we going to get another one here? I don't know whether that was a cross or a shot. Turned into a cross eventually. But Timor-Leste penalised for a foul in the box, and the free kick goes Thailand's way. Indonesia now lead the Philippines by 3-0, so safe to assume we can chalk that up for 3 points to Indonesia now, which means they'll be level on 4 points with Thailand in second place after today's action. If Thailand go on to win this, the second goal for them will surely ensure they do. But the play in the final third all night long has not been good, save for that well-placed header from Warachit to open the scoring just 5 minutes ago. Now, the fourth official's involved here. And what's happened here? Referee, WK Lakmal with a Coddy. He's giving the substitute Alves a bit of a talking to. Well, hold on, what on earth has happened here? Now Alves is running off. Is this something to do with jewellery? I'm not so sure. Now Alves is running off. I think maybe something to do with footwear or kit. Maybe he's wearing the incorrect kit. He's just ducked off to potentially change whether it's socks or shirts or boots, whether he's got a logo he's not supposed to have on there. Here's Warachit, nice ball. Finds the on-rushing Pitch Ultra pulling the trigger from range. High, wide and not very handsome. Still trying to get to the bottom of the Alves situation. It must have been something significant for the fourth official to intervene. He's had to go off and change, so until we see visual confirmation of otherwise, assume Timor Leste are back to 10 or 11. Or Thailand's chance to make a change now, and it's the goal scorer that's going to make way. And Chinrop is going to be coming on. Chenrop Sampari, the captain. So, can the skipper put in a shift here to make this scoreline a little bit more respectable from a Thai point of view? Chenrop Sampari, a full Thailand international as well, from the BEC club, BEC Teros Hasana in the Thai Premier League. That one cap coming in a game against South Korea, I believe. Scored in the 2015 SEA Games as well. The first two goals in a 5-0 win against Brunei. And straight away he's involved is Chenrop. Still awaiting visual update on Mr. Alves, who ran off as if he needed to get changed for some reason, whether maybe it was his shorts on the wrong way round. We're still awaiting confirmation. He's back on the pitch now, though. That's good to see. So Timor Leste are playing with 11. You can see him there in the yellow boots in the left-hand side of your screen. I believe that is Alves, the number 16. Nice play that from Pongkam Nopon. Switch play from Shinyapat. Going straight through to Fagio Augusto da Silva in the Timor-Leste goal. Great strength on the ball shown there by the substitute, Chayawat. There is Alves. Appears to be correctly attired now. Soraya now has given the captain's armband, as he should do, to Chenrop Sampari. Chant involved, looking for the return ball as well. So it's Vidichat in forward territory, looking for the substitute, Chayawat. Timor-Leste pleading for an elbow on that occasion, but Thailand coming forward is a decent cross, and the header came in from Sampari. Would have expected to score from there. Danger not cleared for Timor-Leste. Timor-Leste, I should say. Correction. Sarin-Can, who's had a quiet enough game. See him in a touch there, but it breaks down quite rapidly. Here's a look at that chance in a forward position, Virachat. And the skipper, well, he's only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. Whether that's an excuse, I don't know. But Sampahodi, usually in that scenario, there'd only be one outcome. And look at Alves there. That's a little bit naughty of Alves. There were studs down the back of the leg of Virachat there. And that was a little bit naughty. But look, does everything right, finds a position in between two defenders. Sampahodi, but can't convert. Timor Leste have a promising attack breakdown. So we approach the final 20 minutes then. With Thailand having finally broken the deadlock, surely they'll go on and pick up all 3 points here. But as tight as it is in Group B, goal difference, head-to-head, it could all still play a part. And if it comes down to the head-to-head against Indonesia, of course, that's a draw, so goal difference could be key for Thailand, and this result is not going to do their goal difference any good at all. Unless we have a late flurry of goals, and everything we've seen so far would suggest that that won't be the case. One thing's for sure, Indonesia can start looking at a league table in Group B that gives them 4 points from 2 games. They're 3-0 up in a game that kicked off at the same time as us. They're just 90 seconds behind us in terms of playing time, so big ask for the Philippines to turn that one around in 20 minutes. So their resurgence that was on evidence with their win against Cambodia appears to have come to a halt for now. Not managing to keep that in was Chayawat. Very difficult to know what to make of this type of performance. We've tried to make allowances for the fact it's a busy schedule. Players probably thought they could win this game by scoring, even if they needed 10 minutes to score a goal at their death, they probably thought they could, but it was still a peculiar way to approach those first 45 minutes, although ultimately in football it's only the end result that matters. And Wadarut Shamaka will say to his critics, well, if they do go on and win it, we won the game, what do you want? But until they get a second, we've already seen Timor Leste create a couple of opportunities. Don't want to count anything yet. Next up for Thailand on Saturday is a game against Cambodia back here at the Seliang. Next up for Timor Leste, also at the Seliang. In the early kickoff, they take on Indonesia. And I'm pretty certain Indonesia will give Timor Leste a tougher time in the first 45 minutes than Thailand managed. Ball down the right-hand side. Another good challenge. There's been some good tackling today at times from Timor Leste. Managing to win the throw there as well. So credit where it's due to Moreira there. He's been very busy on that left full-back position. Good tackle. Manages to win possession back for his team. Had to be spot on there. And a little nudge. Probably reciprocated as well, in fairness, for both of them. Given to him by Pitcher Ultra. Sitachok. Sarin-Can. Nopon Pongcam now. Making it around down the left is Soraya. Not quite sure what they were looking for there. Certainly didn't reach the intended target. Soraya again, and they try and build down the left. Thailand, can they get the second goal to put this game completely to bed? Tough to see where a Timor-Leste goal is going to come from, but they did fashion a couple of chances in the first half, so I'm sure Thailand would dearly like to get a second to put this game out of their reach. They'll start this drive with Nopon Pongkam. Out to the right it goes, and Ratanakorn, cross comes in, looking for the captain, danger's not cleared, comes back to Sampadi, and they've missed a golden opportunity once more. Sampadi, for the second time in 10 minutes, should be scoring from there, really. Missing the target. But at least they're creating chances in the second half, even if they're not converting as many as I'm sure they'd like. Still not a sensational display, but a bit better display in the second 45 from Thailand. Not enough, though, I'm sure, to get the likes of Vietnam trembling in their boots. What I've seen so far, Vietnam, possibly the team to beat in this competition, notwithstanding Malaysia's home advantage and that great come-from-behind win against Malaysia yesterday evening in front of a great crowd at the Shah Alam. Full-blooded challenge coming from Thailand. Space for Chaiwat to work with here. Will Chaiwat pull the trigger? Well, that's halfway to Johor, that shot by now, I think. Fagio Augusto de Silva's clearance has helped initiate a Timor-Leste foray into Thai territory. Cross comes in, there's a runner there as well, and that was a crucial intervening header. Timor-Leste, all of a sudden, threatening from out of absolutely nowhere. Full marks to Sarinkan, who's not had much to do, but that was a crucial intervening header there. I think it was Portello, who we've not seen very much of, that was lurking in the background. Enrique is going to take the throw. Back to the substitute Alves, who's given possession straight back to Thailand, and that really is the weakness of Timor-Leste's game. They can see possession far too easily. Here's Chaiwat, who's going to win a free kick. Change for Timor-Leste. Being withdrawn is Armindo Gaudencio, and coming into the fray is Jose Almeida. Jose de Santos there on the official naming, so we shall go with that. Soraya. Bit of chance. Coming forward now is pitcher Ultra. Sampadi, who on another night might have had 2 goals by now. Instead, Thailand have some defending to do. Enrique trying to burst clear. Strength shown though, and good strength at that by Nopon Pongkam. That's gone out of play. Well, here's a mazy run from Warachit. And still Warachit coming forward. Sampadi involved. Chenrop then having to go back to ensure possession for his troops. Here is Chayawat. Well done from Chayawat there. Some space down the left-hand side. What's the cross like? He pulls it back. Timor-Leste intervene, and still Thailand only lead by 1. Need to be careful here. They don't allow Timor-Leste to catch them on the break. That's a lovely bit of skill shown by Gamma, the substitute. Eventually goes down under the attentions of Ratanakorn, and Thailand come away with it, but I'm sure Thailand would love to get a second goal here. Chenrop dropping deep now to try and influence the game a little bit more. It's all very well, but no one ready to aim out of the box until Chenrop gets back in there. Thailand may be suggesting they're happy to play keep ball for the next 10 minutes to see this game out, and in fairness to them, they probably could do that comfortably against Timor-Leste. But this has been a far tighter game than anyone could possibly have imagined. The evidence of what we saw with Timor-Leste against Vietnam, they looked like they could be carved open at will. Nothing wrong with their effort and application, but just the golfing class. And of course, Thailand renowned for an attractive style of play that yields goals. But it's not transpired like that, and but for a late flurry from Chenrop and co, it's going to be a Thailand victory by the narrowest of margins. But still time. Soraya down the left. Thailand playing keep ball now for seemingly 2 or 3 minutes. Timor-Leste cannot get near them or the ball. Vidachat. Here's Nopon Ponkam. Lost count of the number of passes there are in this move, but they're away again down the left. It's Soraya with a cross. Moving swiftly on. He's not had his greatest night, Soraya. I think he'd admit that. But again, all that matters is Thailand pick up 3 points. If you will take the view that goal difference won't play a factor later in proceedings, then as long as you've got 3 points in the bag, what difference, I suppose you'd argue. But oh, that was a kick there on Chenrop. They were very lucky to get away with that. That was naughty. Naughty from Sarmiento, that. Apologies, it was a Moreira, not Sarmiento. That was a little bit cheeky there. Lucky to get away with that. Our referee, WK Lakmal Virakodi, not spotting it. He spotted it there, though. And this game just a little bit niggly. We saw Alves, didn't we? Going with the studs down the back of Vidachat with that cross that led to the Chenrop chance. It's just a little bit niggly here as we enter the final 7 minutes and change. Not too many stoppages in this second half to talk of, so the traditional 3 minutes that I imagine would be favourite to go up on the board. Peculiar game of football, this. Late change coming up for Thailand. Soraya, who started the game as captain, hasn't had the greatest of evenings, as we said. He's going to be replaced by Sasalak. Thailand go to the bench for the third of their 3 permitted changes. At times the game has resembled a bit of a pre-season friendly, such has been the peculiar nature of it. Never mind the fact it's the second game in an important SEA-Games group campaign for both sides. There's going to be a free kick after a cheeky bit of skill from Chayawat, led to the foul by Alves, who's been certainly a bit of a naughty boy since his introduction as a substitute on numerous fronts. Here's pitcher Ultra, trying to fashion the space for a shot, cannot do so. Peeling off is Virachart. I think Virachart fancies getting on the ball here. But they instead go to the right-hand side and pitcher Ultra once more. Nice little flick. Finds Ratanakorn. Now it does come to Virachart. Out wide to the substitute. Sasalak to Chayawat. Chance for 2-0, but it just went past the body of pitcher Ultra, who was running in. The danger still not cleared. Shamrock wants it in the middle. Shamrock might get it, but it just hit his foot and went past him. And Timor Leste still with time to launch a counter that would get them the unlikeliest of draws. Sasalak, the substitute. Virachart, as always, looking classy on the ball. Here's Shamrock. He's had to drop deep again to get the ball. He'll be looking for the return on this Shamrock. His pitcher Ultra. Will he be looking for his captain? Too high for the captain. It almost fell into the path of Ratanakorn of all people. Chayawat was up there as well. Shamrock hustling. Timor Leste clearing. Long probing ball from Sarin Khan. Offside flag's gone up. Wodachit doesn't like it, but that's the call. I think he's got a case there, Wodachit as well. I think he held the line there just in time. The first offside of the game. There's a stat for you. 87.5 minutes in and we have our first offside. Nice little touch, that cute from Wodachit. Numbers up here. Chayawat. Sasalak involved. The ball's given away though. Now, if you're Timor Leste here, you may as well have a go. Better losing 2-0. What difference 2-0 to 1 than if you got the chance of bagging a draw. But to their defence, they just really can't get it going in the final third. Really struggling to see where a goal is going to come for them in this SEA-Games. Doesn't get any easier either for them. They've obviously already been beaten 4-0 by Vietnam. Thailand are in all likelihood going to beat them here. It's Indonesia next, who thumped 3 past the Philippines and counting this afternoon. And it's Cambodia. But I suppose that's the one thing for Timor Leste. They finished with, on paper, their 2 most manageable games at the Arena. On Monday, they face Cambodia, and then they conclude their campaign, in all likelihood. They're not going to qualify for the semi-finals, I don't think, on Wednesday against the Philippines. Here come Thailand looking for that second. It's Chayawat. Will he pull the trigger? He doesn't. Lays it off to Chenrop. Chayawat again. Brings in Pongkam Nopon. Here's Sasalak, the substitute. with a cross that's met by the first man of Timor Leste and hacked away to safety. Interesting to see what the Thai media make of this back home in Bangkok. Wurawut Shumaka will have been expected to bring back gold with Thailand. They're still obviously in the mix for a gold medal, but on the evidence of what we've seen in this 89.5 minutes, plenty of work to do. But how often do you see it in major tournaments? The big teams sometimes start slow and peak at the right time. We've seen some great football from Vietnam and Indonesia, but are they peaking too early? It's over a couple of weeks, this tournament, not just 90 minutes of football. And Thailand, although they've not been at their best for 180 minutes now, that won't matter if they peak at the right time. Springing the trap there was Pitcher Ultra, but the first touch let him down. I don't think he could believe it got all the way through to him. But it must worry Wurawut that they've created so few chances. 4 minutes is the time going to be added on, not the traditional 3. So an extra minute for Thailand to try and get the second goal to give this scoreline a comprehensive look. And there's plenty of space for Pitcher Ultra to work with here. But again, a bit like the first half, they don't really seem interested in scoring, Thailand. And they didn't seem interested before they got their goal. They got the goal through the Timor-Leste defensive lap. It was a very soft goal indeed. And since then, the probing of the Timor-Leste penalty area has appeared to be at an absolute minimum. They've kept the ball quite beautifully, he says, as they're dispossessed in their own half by the onrushing Gamma. But a very peculiar game of football. Thailand are going to win, that's all that matters, and that's what they'll say as well. And they'd rather probably get their bad performance out of the way against Timor-Leste now than in games to come. And already, that Thailand-Vietnam game next Wednesday at the Saliang right here has got the look of a clash where the winner makes the semi-finals. It's possible Vietnam could go into it affording to lose. Doubtful now Thailand have already dropped points against Indonesia that they could go in it able to lose. So plenty of big matches to look forward to and a very exciting, notwithstanding this game's not been very exciting, SEA Games football tournament here in Kuala Lumpur 2017. Sarinkan there caught out. Alves, as Timor-Leste desperately trying to get something resembling an attack going forward. They're going to have an opportunity. Henrik Wilson. Oh, hello, there's a chance here. Timor-Leste are in. And Gamma with an opportunity and goes down under a challenge. There's no appeal for a penalty, and probably rightly so, but Timor-Leste at the death with an opportunity. And straight at the other end, we've got all the excitement bottled into the last 2 minutes. It's Chenrop. Brilliantly tackled. What a tackle that is by Felipe Oliveira. Well, we've had 90 minutes of excitement in the 60 seconds we've just had. And the referee plays on there after that challenge from Chenrop. And Thailand are through again. It's Pitcher Ultra. Maybe there is time for a second goal. But Thailand, as has been their modus operandi throughout the whole 90 minutes, content to slow the game right down again and pick their passes. They've been picking them slightly better in the second half than they did in the first. Still not been vintage by any stretch. Timor-Leste could have snatched a draw right at the death. Gamma in on goal. Have a look at this. Gamma's pace gets him through. Had options to pull it back as well. Jose dos Santos was there, and he was bulldozed over by 2 Thai players, and no one even appealed, unless I'm mistaken, from the Timor-Leste team. Quite extraordinary. One of my pet hates is footballers appealing needlessly, but goodness gracious me, last 60 seconds of a group game at the SEA Games and you're 1-0 down and you don't appeal for that. Up on Ponkam, to the left it goes, and Chayawat with the cross, met by the first receiver. Full-blooded challenge coming in from Wurawut, whose goal looks like it's going to be the only one of this match. And again, Magala's at the display. That will eventually be forgotten about, you'd hope. All that matters is Thailand have picked up 3 points, as have Indonesia. Or will do very shortly, as they lead the Philippines by 3-0. In the other game in progress in this group at the Shah Alam. Well, WK Lakmal Wirakudi is about to put us out of our misery. It's not been pretty to watch. It's been brutally disappointing, to be frank. But for all that, we had some late drama with Timor-Leste having the opportunity to snatch an equaliser. And the referee, like us now, has seen enough. He blows for full time. Thailand pick up maximum points, but not without an odd scare or two.